Sir, as the last question of the day.
Let the lady have the last question of the day.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Mike, please. You are rendering the female community voiceless here. JNU, what are you doing? Julus nikalo, jalao kuch.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, please.
Hello, sir. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. That's the voice of an empowered Hindu woman. Please. Go on.
Sir, this is Nidhi Sharma from Indian Institute of Mass Communication. Sir, my question to you is that we are now seeing mass conversions to a new faith altogether, or let me put it this way, a new ideology called Navayana Buddhism. And those 22 vows of Ambedkar show nothing but hatred towards the global minority, that is Hindus.
Right.
Sir, do you, and ये politically भी politicians इसको support कर रहे हैं, so happening openly, blatantly हो रहा है. Do you consider this a fault line? If so, how detrimental it is for the civilizational cause in the long run?
Extremely detrimental, a very dangerous fault line. And that's not going to be addressed as long as the subaltern discourse is not democratized. And we have more and more voices being showcased both from history and contemporary society who are proud Hindus despite sharing the background of Dr. Ambedkar. The unfortunate reality is that entire discourse has been, let's say, essentialized at the feet of one particular individual. I am not going to say that this discussion has no space for this individual, but this was not a monolithic discussion by any yardstick. There were enough Hindus who came from the very same background, who were extremely proud of both their Jati identities as well as their Hindu identities. Rarely have we been, let's say, shown their histories. They don't feature in our discussions on history whatsoever when it comes to caste-related issues. So hopefully, as part of some of my, let's say, writings in the future, I genuinely hope to bring out those realities as well and leave it to the audience to decide what is it that you wish to subscribe to. Because the very same vows, if they had come from any other person outside the Hindu fold, would have seriously attracted both 295A and 153A. It's one thing to say I'm making the transition to something else. But before doing so, if you start spewing venom on this particular community, well, this community also has rights under the law. But the problematic part is it's an internal divide, and it's a huge divide. So the fault line, to answer your question, is extremely dangerous and it needs to be addressed as soon as possible. But again, someone like me who goes with facts, I would want to go with more facts on this particular front. So I'm sure people have noticed this transition gradually in my own position. My position with respect to Dr. Ambedkar in 2015 was something different. Over the last 7 years, with improved reading and with exposure to more literature, I have changed my positions. I've openly said on a television debate that Dr. Ambedkar is a mixed bag who needs to be understood in his entirety. Some parts you can certainly agree with, but there are some parts which are difficult to agree with without denying his personal experience or whatever is it that he may have been subjected to. I am not denying his personal experience, but your personal experience cannot be projected onto scripture. Because scripture is a matter of fact, it's a matter of reading. Experience is a matter of personal feeling. Assume for a moment, you and I have a fight here. And assuming that you were a student of JNU, you said something. The fact that you said something to me which spoiled my experience here will be a reality. Would it be fair on me to get out and say, this entire institution is like this? Would that be fair to the rest of the people who are listening calmly? That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Then you'll have to change that position. Aapko change karna padega. It has to come to mean something else when it comes to its connotation about this institution. So, my point is this. To deny somebody's personal experience would be to be insensitive. I'm not doing that. But I will never let that become the darpan or the lens through which I look at my society. Because it's such a vast society with its own local, let's say, realities. Can anybody realistically say, when diversity has been the repeated subject matter of discussion here, that caste reality is the same across this country, given its diversity? Are the power structures the same? No, they are not. Does V1 to V4 interact in the same way or occupy the same top to bottom positions across the country? No, it's not. Has that been the case in history all the time? No, it is not. So, that particular aspect of the Hindu discourse needs greater democratization and more diversity. That much I'm clear about. I would want to talk about Ramana Maharishi. I'd want to talk about Narayana Guru. I'd want to talk about so many people who have stayed within the fold and who have created models to ensure that people move up the ladder as opposed to saying, let's finish the entire system altogether. If someone says that the only way to deal with the caste problem is to destroy the Hindu culture and the Hindu society and the Hindu religion as a whole, sorry, I'm not with you. I won't be with you under any circumstances. Thank you.